This is the ASICS Metaspeed Sky Paris, and if you are looking for a fast shoe for race day, this might be it. My name is Caroline, and on this channel Run Letters I talk all about running gear, gadgets and events. So if that is something you are interested in, then make sure to subscribe to the channel and like this video. So before we dive into the review of this super shoe, I do want to give a little disclaimer. And I would like to say that shoe reviews are always very subjective. So in my video, I'm going to talk about things that I hope are relatable and relevant for every single runner out there. For example, on what kind of terrain do these shoes work well? How versatile are they? How durable are they? Stuff like that. But, you know, if a shoe is good for you or not, it really depends on your feet. So all I can say is go try them out in the store if you can. Before we dive into the details of this shoe, I just want to mention the price. This is a super shoe. It is quite expensive. It retails right now for about 250 euros, $250, and I think 220 pounds. So it's definitely in the higher price category, kind of where you would find the Nike Vaporfly, Nike Alpha Fly, the Adidas Adios Pro 3, those kind of shoes. But is it worth it? Well, I'm going to tell you my experience with this shoe so far, and hopefully that will help you to make up your mind. Let's first talk a little bit about the sizing of this shoe. I think most would say it fits true to size, but I have found that it is quite snug and it's quite a narrow shoe. You can kind of see it at the bottom here, and it's also quite snug in the toe box. Now, personally, I don't have very wide feet, so for me that's fine, but if you have wide feet, that it might be something to keep in mind. And then in terms of the size, even though I have found that most people say it fits true to size, I am wearing a 40.5. That is slightly too big for me. I could definitely have a size 40, but that is one size up from my regular size. So in my opinion, I would size up in these by a size or at least half a size. Depending on what is available. Personally, with race shoes, I just like to go one size bigger because during a race, my foot tends to slide forward quite a bit. The heel lock is quite good though, so you don't slide forward that much in the shoe, but still, I don't know. For me, this is a shoe where I would still size up a little bit. Next up, let's talk a little bit about the style and looks of this shoe. So I believe this shoe specifically comes in 2 different colorways. I personally really love the turquoise option. It's got quite chunky looking foam here at the bottom, but thanks to the colorway and the way that they've just put this beautiful gradient over it, it just works for the shoe. Then it's got this very fine upper mesh. I will say that you're going to see your socks through this, so you might want to find some complementary socks, which do exist. Personally, I don't mind that, and it is very breathable, which is nice. On race day, you don't want to get hot feet, so this works really, really well. Generally, it is quite a simple looking shoe. Then we also have these typical laces from ASICS. These kind of look like they are like rugged laces. It's kind of hard to describe. I don't know if you can see that, but the great thing about this is it really locks the laces in place, so they don't go loose. You don't have to worry about that during your race, which is good. And yeah, I would just say looks fast, feels fast, definitely super shoe design. Then let's talk a little bit about the terrain on which this shoe works particularly well. This shoe is really designed for road races. It works really well on tarmac, on track as well, just on smooth surfaces. It is not designed for gravel or anything like that. We do get a little bit of extra grip here thanks to what they call the, I think, ASICS grip. Rubber that we have here on the outside of the shoe and on the forefoot, and then a little bit here. You can barely see it right now, it's kind of faded. That helps, but I would not like wearing these shoes on very wet roads or in sharp turns. You really want to be careful with that. So if you are doing a race in, say, an older European city where maybe you have some cobblestones, I would be a little bit careful with these shoes, especially if it has been raining. But on flat ground, this shoe gives you a super snappy and fast ride. Next, let's talk a little bit about the versatility of this shoe. The shoe really shines at race pace, and that's why you probably want to save them for races, anywhere from 10K to a marathon. They also are great for tempo runs or progressive runs where you really want to feel that pop, but they're not made for easy runs or anything like that. They're just too aggressive. I mean, you cannot ban these ones, okay? They say that the Metaspeed Sky is made for stride runners. Basically, runners who, when they speed up, open up their stride, so you increase your stride, and that's when this shoe really rewards you with extra propulsion. I'm a runner like that, so I'm not surprised that this shoe worked so well for me on my last half marathon. But if you are the type of runner that increases your cadence, so you start taking more steps as you speed up, then you might be more interested in the Metaspeed Edge. That is kind of the difference between these shoes. Or well, the difference, it's one of the differences, but I think it might be the most notable one. Next, let's talk a little bit about the durability of these shoes. So the outsole coverage of these shoes is very minimal. That is a trade-off. It is to make the shoe lighter, which they definitely managed to do. This shoe comes in at about 180, 185 grams, meaning when you run on these shoes, you barely feel them on your feet. Even packing these in my backpack, I almost forget that I have these shoes with me. But it does mean that they don't last as long as maybe your daily trainer would. You can expect to get about 200 to 300 miles out of this shoe before it starts to lose its pop. I guess what I would say about this shoe in terms of durability is it is a race day shoe. It's a super shoe, so just treat it like one. Save it for the days where you really want that extra pop in your training, or for race day, which is what I'm personally doing. I ran probably about 30K in these shoes before I ran my half marathon, and that was just to make sure that my feet were okay with the shoes, that I really liked them. I didn't want to go into my race and, you know, have it be a disaster. But the shoe felt great on both of those runs. Both of those were at the track. Then I wore them during my race and they were perfect. I love these shoes. Before I give you my final verdict, I just wanted to quickly give a shout out to the Run Letters Run Club. First link in the description. It is our global run club where you can find really good discount codes, weekly and monthly challenges with running related prizes, and monthly expert talks. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, then make sure to join right now. So, final verdict for who is this shoe? Well, I would say that this is a pure race day weapon, okay? It is super light, very smooth ride. It looks fast, it feels fast. It's made for people that are chasing a new PR. You want to save this shoe for race day, but if you are like me, a stride runner where you open up your stride as you go faster, then this might be the one for you. Especially if you have a little bit of extra budget and you want to invest in a super shoe, then I would highly recommend you consider looking at this one. If you are on a limited budget though, then just don't get a super shoe. Then go for more of a tempo shoe, a speed shoe, something that's going to last you a little bit longer and that has a little bit more durability. That's it for the ASICS Metaspeed Sky Paris. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've tried these shoes, let me know what you think of them in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and become a member of the Run Letters Run Club. I will see you in the next video.